Welcome to the God is Not an Asshole podcast. If you are one of the many people done with religious dogmatism, hang on. You might sense transcendence, but your church or other faith community never seem to get off the ground. You realize that honoring your conscience means more than fitting in and keeping hard-to-explain rules? Hang on. You could probably think of the goodness in your tradition, and you tried your best to save that baby, but there's so much bathwater. Join your hosts, David Norman Moore Jr. in California and Kerry Connolly in New Jersey, who are collaborating to bring on guests who have found life on the other side of fundamentalism. Guests with stories of how they have liberated themselves from beliefs that divide us from each other. None of our guests' narratives are identical, but we hope you'll find something in common with each of them. We invite you to experience our common bond as we all inspire even more of us to embrace the true self.
So Kerry and I are here with her cat, Stella.
Stella the cat.
Yay.
She's very needy today.
Stella's needy. Like my dogs, Sachi and Yuki, are needy because they recognize they need to bring me into the moment, as Stella does for Kerry.
Yes, indeed. She is telling me to slow down and pay attention.
Right.
And receive some love.
We don't deserve them.
I know. It's so true. It's so true. It's so true. She knows I need her today. So this is a short recap of season 2. Just kind of closing out the marathon of a season. This season seemed to have gone on for a very long time. We were kind of like, oh, maybe we should close out the season and start afresh. And so we will be starting fresh, taking a short break, which may not even be too perceptible from a listener point of view as far as how long goes between season 2 and season 3. But we'll be starting season 3 in the fall of 2024. Today is August 14th, 2024. So not too much longer.
And, if you are a regular listener or watcher of God is Not an Asshole, we wouldn't mind hearing from you. If you have feedback, if you have questions, and who knows, maybe you have a story that you would like to, share with, folks who are other listeners, because I kind of see us as a community, of people who are healing one another and bringing ourselves to the completion of the long, dark tunnel of fundamentalism and its accompanying harshness and restrictions, and opening up to this beautiful, broad, new existence of possibility and inclusivity where we just love everybody. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that a beautiful idea? And I think that, if you have a story, if you know somebody, if there's somebody that you would know about that you would love for us to talk with, that you think would be a great guest, let us know. How do they do that, David? Where should they reach out to us?
Probably the easiest way is just to email me, or, here are the options. You can email me, and I'll give the email address in a moment, but either email or comment, reply to the show, on whatever platform people use, if they use Spotify or Apple or iTunes or iHeart. What it's on like 7 or 8 different platforms, and most of them have a way that you can comment, and you can let us know that way. You can, like I said, email's probably the simplest.
What's your email, David?
It's D Moore, as in David Moore, D Moore SB, as in Santa Barbara, at gmail.com. dmooresb@gmail.com.
And my email is Kerry@kerryconnolly.com. And that's Kerry, because some people hear it as Carrie, totally different vowel, but it's Kerry, Kerry. And Connolly is spelled with an E, so Connelly. So Kerry at kerryconnolly.com. You can email both of us, either of us. That would work. And, there's also another thing that I would love for us to let people know. And that is, if you have been enjoying this podcast and you know somebody that would love to support this podcast does take some financial resources to produce. And it would be wonderful if you wanted to reach our audience. If you want to sponsor this podcast, please let us know. We're happy to, starting in season 3, we will be including some advertising space, for lack of a better word. So if you have a message that you think our audience wants to hear, reach out to us and let us know. And we would love to work with you to help get your message out and help connect our audience members with services that they may need. So reach out to us if you're into a sponsorship deal.
Yeah, because so far it's been a labor of love by, us two multimillionaires.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so that's what it's mostly been. Yeah.
One thing, David, that you and I haven't really, and this is totally spontaneous, so I'm just going to say this because I just thought of it. But one thing that you and I haven't really done in a long time, maybe we did it at the very beginning, but we haven't really talked about the work that we do, you and I. So Is there anything that you want people to know about that you're doing right now?
Wow. Well, I'm kind of doing a bit of a transition. This happened 5 years ago when my dad died. I stepped away from a lot of things just to reorient. And so my mom recently died, and I'm feeling that need to just reevaluate the use of my energies. And so, yeah, I'm kind of in an impasse, I guess you might say, but intentionally here, living in this. I don't want to say intention because that sounds stressful, but living in transition. But I have been working for years as a pastor. And then when COVID hit, we went online and we never left. And that is our primary way of operating. And our constituency changed. So instead of people who are local, we mostly have people who live, some of them is too far to drive, like in other states and that kind of thing. But it's been fun because we've been able to incorporate not only them, but guest presenters from afar. So that's a big piece of everything that I do. And then there's...
How can people join that on a weekly basis? How do they find that?
Oh, yeah. The Zoom is the way to go. If they went to our very simple websites, mine is davidinmore.com. I think it is. If they went to my website, but then our church's very Spartan website, created now for the purpose of making it available to people to jump onto Zoom, is belovedcommunitychurch.net. Belovedcommunitychurch.net. And one of the first things you'll see when you scroll down is join our services. And they are at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Sundays. So that's how people would do that.
Amazing.
And besides that, most of my life is involved in volunteering. Of course, as some people know, and of course Kerry knows, I'm an adjunct prof at St. Stephen's University in Eastern Canada, and I actually go up there once a year and spend time. But besides that, I'm a volunteer. So many things. I'm on the board of directors for Hospice of Santa Barbara, and the first VP of the our affiliate of the NAACP. I am on the Planned Parenthood Action Fund board. So those are the first ones that come to mind. And I don't know how long I will stay with everything. So if you're in charge of one of those entities, please do not be alarmed because I'm not leaving everything. Yeah. So Kerry,
Yes.
we want to know what you are up to in life.
Yeah, lots and lots. I personally, I've been going through some major transitions in all sorts of areas in my career, in my personal life, all sorts of transitions, lots and lots of transitions. And one of the things that I think I'm most excited about that I'm working on, and this is the first time I'll be saying anything. Well, I don't know when this is coming out, but this is the first time I'll be saying anything about this publicly. But on September 16th, I am launching a membership community, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. And that is essentially going to be a community, online community called Wild and Free. And it's intended for women who, like me, are going through transition. And it will include a course that will help people to reignite and reconnect with their most authentic selves, to shed some of the social conditioning that we have all been just, inculcated into, and really discover who we are created to be. And I'm really, really excited about it. I'm a little terrified, and I'm also really excited about it. And I will, of course, be offering lots of content. It will be a community of like-minded women, lots of mini courses that will be be available as well. The waitlist is going to be opening soon. So if you're on my waitlist, if you go to kerryconnolly.com and join my mailing list there, you will be alerted as to when the waitlist is open, and the doors open on September 16th. And when they open there, if you register for that, you'll get in the first week, you'll get some serious bonuses. So that's fun. But I really just am in this place of such deep transition in my own life. And I am really passionate about the idea that the more authentically we can all live, the more we can create the realm of God on earth, where everyone has enough and no one needs to be afraid, as John Frankie teaches. And that's my mantra. That's kind of the mantra for my life, a world where everyone has enough and no one needs to be afraid. And that's a quote from John Frankie. And it just resonates with me. And I really honestly believe that until we rediscover the magic of our truest selves, we're never going to be able to create that, because we're always going to be trying to create a life that's for someone else. And usually that someone else doesn't necessarily have the good of the entire earth in mind. So when we can live according to our truest selves and our truest nature and the magic of what that is, I believe we can start to create something really amazing. And so that's what Wild and Free is going to be all about. And I'm really excited about it.
Wild and Free.
Wild and Free. There is a page already. Actually, if you go to my website right now, there is a page up already. And I think you can join the website. So the wait list, rather. So.
As you were talking, I thought, well, we're both going through changes. And
Yes.
I can't remember what it was, but within the past couple of weeks, someone gave me, and I can't even remember what it was now. There's so much change going on, but someone gave me a report of something that was going to be happening that included me. And I remember silently breathing and saying to myself, change is good. Change is good. Because I know change is good, but it doesn't feel like it every time I hear about it. And so I had to basically remind myself of that. And so, Kerry, change is good.
Change is good. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the reminder. Because it's rough while you're going through it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the uncertainty. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So season 3, we are still in the process of lining up our guests. There are a few guests that were supposed to be on in season 2 that we didn't get in, that I know are in my wheelhouse, that I have to get connected with, that I'm excited to bring up for season 3. And we've got the usual goodness happening in the continued amazing conversations, the life-giving conversations. that you've come to know and expect from us will continue in season 3. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, who would have thunk it? I mean, we started this in May of 2023, and
wow,
yeah, it's a serious, fun thing.
It is, and we're going to have to be cognizant of when we record our 100th video, because we recorded our 50th, and I don't think I was even aware that it was our 50th. So we have to pay attention, because we have to celebrate big for our 100th.
I think we're past 60 now.
I think we are. Pretty amazing. Woo!
Yeah, I love it.
We did a thing. We are doing a thing.
We are, and and it's here in perpetuity. If what they say about the internet is true, it's this is the kind of thing that will be available, and new listeners can pick and choose what they'd like to listen to, because there's no real sequence to our guests' presentations, right?
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes there's a part 1 and a part 2, so you want to pay attention to that.
Yes.
But aside from that, not necessarily a sequence. So hop in wherever feels good.
And Kerry, you want to say thanks to Josh, our producer, all of this time?
We have had the most amazing producer all of this time. His name is Josh Perez, and he is the voice you hear at the beginning of our episodes, and he's just done such an amazing job, and he is moving on to bigger and better things. He is going into a doctorate program, and so we just offer so much thanks to Josh for the work that he's done so far. And we are inviting in a wonderful new producer who named Lisa Alexander, who is just going to do amazing work. I know she's amazing. And so yeah, there's lots. Change is good, David. Change is good.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks, Josh, for
yes.
For me, it was an inauguration. I'd never done a podcast before, at least not hosted one, and I learned a lot. And so hats off to you, Josh, for your patience.
Absolutely. He's amazing. So, well, all right. So we'll see you in season 3. Yes. And thank you so much to all of our guests from season 2. And we are looking forward to season 3.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today. We are people who have left behind performance-based religion and the shame that comes with it. Maybe you have a personal liberation story to tell, and we want to know about it. Please contact us on Twitter at GodIsNotAnAsshole or text 805-703-8393, because the world needs to know that God is not an asshole. The show's music is composed by Christian Moore, show art created by Evan Kerr, and the episodes are produced by Josh Perez.